Hey guys, it's Cassie and Joe, and today we're going to give you a little brief topic on fluorescence.
Yeah, a lot of times people ask us, what is fluorescence? They go down to the bottom of the certificate, and fluorescence has nothing to do with the other aspects we talked about.
Right.
If it has a fluorescence indicator, which let's look at the chart now, it says none, faint, medium, strong, very strong.
Right.
Okay, those are the monikers of fluorescence indicators. So what is it? It doesn't affect the cut. It doesn't affect the polish of the symmetry per se. So what is it? Well, it does affect and can affect the overall look of the diamond. And I stress can, doesn't always affect it, but it can. And there's a general rule of thumb when you're looking to buy a diamond on what the fluorescence should be. Not always, but should be. And it should be, on average, with the really high color stones, especially H and up. The color is what we're focusing on here because that's the thing that it kind of affects. It's, you want it to be none or faint. Occasionally medium doesn't even show up.
Right.
So those can be fine as well. But if you don't want to ever worry about it and pay a little bit extra money, you get the none or faint fluorescence.
And then when you start getting into JKL, where you have a little more tint of yellow in the diamond, it actually helps you and comes into play because that sort of blue comes into the yellow and almost like makes it appear whiter.
Right.
So if you have like a faint fluorescence in a K stone, it might look like an eye.
Right. And just to take a step back there, because we were just explaining what fluorescence was. What is it? Well, it's a reaction to UV light, ultraviolet light. So if you're going to the nail salon, you put your nails in there, oh, my stone is fluorescent. You would see that it glows.
A little bit of glow. Same, like if you went to a club. Otherwise, day to day, you're not going to see anything.
Right. You may, if it's strong or very strong, it's possible, but that might be helpful with what Cassy was talking about, is if it's a lower color, you paid a little bit less. Sometimes those stones with fluorescence are actually a little more money because it makes it look whiter in those instances. So it's not always a bad thing. It can be actually very helpful at times, but on average, most people, if they don't want to even mess with it, do I have to look for fluorescence?
No.
Does it affect my stone?
I barely ever get asked about it, actually. You get asked about it more,
right.
But for me, it's not a big deal when I'm picking out a stone because I'm looking at other aspects. I'm looking at the all-around, like sparkle.
And the overall sparkle, which
has nothing to do with it.
Right. You could see the stone in person, and the fluorescence, medium or otherwise, would be there, and it doesn't show up. And you try it in different lightings, it doesn't show up, and that's great. But we have the liberty to do that. So a lot of people don't want to do that all the time, so they're like, I want none or faint. And that's the easy way to do it. I frankly agree with that. If you I don't want to mess with this, but you have to look at the stone in person. I think you've probably noticed I brought that up many times. So that's the truth, you do. We always go back to this, it's important. When you go on the web and you check out some of these websites that have diamonds listed, those are the diamonds a lot of times that we wouldn't buy. They're going to have fluorescence, and they're going to be the cheapest stones. They're going to have strong blue fluorescence. They're going to show up. They're going to show up horribly. You might have the exception of stones those are the ones that we've already picked out of the group. But a lot of these stones that are online on some of these websites, wow, it's only, let's say the stone typically costs like $6,000 to $7,000. Oh, it's $4,700. Well, there's a reason why. There's a reason why. And one of those reasons, it may be triple excellent. It may have great color, but it has the strong blue. Or very strong blue. And that might make the stone look hazy, cloudy. It's all over the stone. It shows up not only in UV, but in every light. So that's what we're talking about. Maybe a little bit okay, but once you get into strong, very strong, if you can see it with all the different lightings, that might affect the price greatly. And that is our video.
Leave
Fully
us a
detailed.
comment
Yeah.
or email if you have any other questions.
You got it. Take care.